Let me tell you something most people won't dare say out loud. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, and you've stopped having sex, whether it's been months, years, or even decades, I'm sorry to tell you this, but your body may already be breaking down faster than it should. I'm talking about a silent kind of decline that creeps in slowly. First it's the low energy. Then the brain fog. The aching joints, the forgetfulness, the lack of motivation. Then the loneliness. The nights where you stare at the ceiling, wondering where the spark went, not just in your relationship, but in you. And you chalk it up to aging, right? This is just part of getting older, you tell yourself. But what if it's not? Because here's what no one told you. When you stop being intimate, physically and emotionally, your body actually starts to shut down key systems. Your hormones drop. Your circulation weakens. Your immune response dips. Even your brain, yes, your brain, starts to lose the chemical messengers that keep it young, alert, and happy. And the scariest part? This isn't obvious. It doesn't happen overnight. But over time, it chips away at your health, your confidence, your connection, and your identity. Until one day, you don't recognize the person in the mirror anymore. This isn't just about sex. It's about vitality. It's about staying alive in every way that matters. But here's the thing no one told you, not your doctor, not your friends, not the wellness experts on TV. There are seniors out there, right now, in their 70s and 80s, even their 90s, who are still living with fire in their hearts, clarity in their minds, and strength in their bodies. They're thriving. And do you want to know what almost all of them have in common? They never gave up on intimacy. Not with their partners. Not with themselves. Not with life. I know it might sound crazy. But these people aren't superhuman. They've just tapped into something that most doctors never talk about. And what they've discovered can change everything for you. Because the truth is, more than 90% of seniors have never been told what I'm about to share with you today. Not because it's too complicated. But because we live in a culture that treats aging as a countdown to the end, instead of what it really is. A chance to reclaim what truly makes you feel alive. So no, you're not too old. You're not broken. You haven't missed your window. You've just been misinformed. And today, we're going to set the record straight. Now that the truth is on the table, let's talk about what this really means for you. Because this isn't just about facts, this is about your future. So let's break it down. Here are two of the most powerful reasons why staying sexually active, or at the very least, staying intimately connected, can change everything. Number 1, it boosts brain function. You want to stay sharp. Want to remember names, hold a conversation with clarity, and keep your independence as long as possible. Then here's what you need to know. A study published in the journal Age and Aging found that seniors who were still sexually active actually scored higher on memory tests than those who weren't. Not just a little higher, significantly. And we're not talking about some magic pill. We're talking about what happens when you allow your body to do what it was designed to do, connect, touch, feel, and engage. You see, during intimacy, whether that's sex, cuddling, or even deep affectionate touch, your brain releases powerful chemicals like dopamine and endorphins. Dopamine helps with focus, attention, and motivation. Endorphins reduce pain, ease stress, and create a sense of joy and contentment. These aren't just feel-good hormones. They're essential brain nutrients. They protect your neurons. They help you form memories. They literally light up areas of the brain responsible for learning and emotion. And here's something important. Even if you don't feel ready to jump back into full-on intimacy, gentle touch still counts. Holding hands. Resting your head on someone's shoulder. A slow dance in the kitchen. It all stimulates your brain in ways that pills and puzzles simply can't. This isn't about doing what you used to do at 30. It's about staying connected to your humanity, to your joy, to your body, to your sense of self. That alone can keep your mind younger than you ever imagined. Number 2, it protects your heart. Now let's talk about the organ that keeps everything going, your heart. Because the truth is, nothing brings fear faster than the thought of heart disease or a sudden stroke. But did you know that regular intimacy can actually protect your heart? Studies have shown that older adults who maintain a healthy sex life have lower blood pressure, better circulation, and stronger cardiovascular function. That's not some fringe science, this is real, peer-reviewed research. Your body treats sexual activity almost like light exercise. Your heart rate increases, blood flows more freely, and stress levels drop. And speaking of stress, cortisol, your main stress hormone, is a silent killer. It eats away at your arteries, inflames your body, and weakens your immune system. But intimacy, physical closeness, emotional connection, reduces cortisol dramatically. Think of it like this. A strong, loving embrace. A night of laughter and closeness with someone you trust. It's not just nice, it's medicinal. It's cardiovascular therapy without the copay. And again, this isn't just about what happens in the bedroom. Even shared moments of closeness, watching a movie together, lying side by side, feeling seen and valued, all of that strengthens the emotional heart, and the physical one too. So if you want fewer pills, fewer doctor visits, and more days where you feel alive, this is where it starts. Not with another prescription, but with permission. Permission to reconnect with the part of you that still wants to live boldly. That still craves touch, and closeness, and joy. Number 3, it keeps your hormones in balance. Here's something you might not have been told, but it's one of the biggest game changers of all. As you age, your body naturally starts to slow down production of key hormones like testosterone and estrogen. And while that's normal to a degree, the rate at which these hormones decline can vary wildly, depending on your lifestyle. One of the most overlooked ways to slow that decline. Intimacy. Connection. Touch. When you stay physically and emotionally engaged with your partner, or even just with yourself through affection and connection, your body keeps those vital hormones circulating longer. Testosterone supports muscle strength, motivation, and even your sense of purpose. Estrogen helps protect your bones, improve your mood, and keep your skin and joints healthier. And both play a huge role in how well you sleep at night, which, as you know, affects everything else. Here's the part nobody says out loud. You don't just lose all desire after 60. That's a myth. A harmful one. Desire doesn't disappear, it just goes quiet when it's been ignored, or when shame and stress pile on top of it. But the moment you start nourishing it again, gently, with patience, it wakes up. And it can come back stronger than you thought possible. Because the truth is, your body still remembers how to feel good. Your hormones still want to support you. They just need a reason to show up again. And the best part? You don't need to aim for some picture-perfect intimacy. Start small. Even holding hands, sharing kisses, laying close, that gentle spark is enough to begin the reset. And once your hormones start balancing out again, the benefits ripple through everything, your energy, your sleep, your physical strength, and even how you carry yourself through the world. You deserve that balance. You deserve to feel whole again. Number 4, it supports emotional wellness and fights depression. Now let's talk about something even more personal. Something that so many people over 60 carry silently, loneliness. Disconnection. That quiet ache that says, is this really all that's left? But here's the truth, seniors who maintain intimate, affectionate relationships report far higher levels of life satisfaction. And it's not just a nice idea, it's backed by hard data. They have lower rates of anxiety, less depression, and better emotional resilience overall. And the reason why comes down to one powerful little hormone, oxytocin. You may know it as the love hormone. But it's so much more than that. When you hug someone, when you kiss, hold hands, or simply sit in warmth and affection with another person. Your brain releases oxytocin. It lowers stress, calms your nervous system, and gives you that rare, precious feeling of being safe. Being seen. Being loved. You want to know the number one enemy of aging well? It's not just heart disease. It's not memory loss. It's isolation. We are wired for connection. We thrive on it. And that doesn't change just because the years go by. You are not too old to feel deeply. You are not too old to be touched, held, wanted. You're not too old to laugh in bed. To cry in someone's arms. To look someone in the eyes and feel alive again. And no, it's not just about sex. It's about connection. Because when you feel emotionally nourished, your body responds. Your immune system strengthens. Your pain lessens. Your world starts to feel open again, not closed in. So if the thought has crossed your mind, that maybe you're too far gone. Too tired. Too out of touch. Too alone. Let me say this clearly. You are not alone. And it's not too late. Even one small step toward emotional closeness can begin to lift the weight you've been carrying. And in just a moment, I'll share exactly how you can start doing that, no matter your age, your relationship status, or your current health. Number 5, it strengthens your immune function. Now here's something that hardly anyone talks about. But it could be the difference between bouncing back from illness and getting knocked down for weeks, or even months. Regular physical intimacy, and that includes everything from sex to a simple, caring touch, has been shown to directly improve the immune system. One study found that people who experienced intimacy more frequently had significantly higher levels of IgA. Now, if you've never heard of IgA before, don't worry. All you need to know is this. IgA is one of your body's first lines of defense, a powerful antibody that helps fight off viruses, bacteria, and infection. It's like the gatekeeper of your immune system. And when you're regularly releasing oxytocin and other feel-good chemicals through closeness, your levels of IgA go up. Which means your body is more equipped to protect you. But that's not all. Physical affection, even just a warm hug, has also been shown to reduce inflammation in the body. And if there's one thing that accelerates aging more than almost anything else, it's inflammation. It's what underlies chronic diseases like arthritis, heart disease, even some cancers. It fogs up the brain, exhausts your energy, and weakens your defenses. So here's the beautiful part. A moment of tenderness can literally lower inflammation markers in your blood. Not metaphorically. Not emotionally. Biologically. That means fewer colds. Faster recovery from illness. Less pain in your joints. And more days where you feel like yourself again. Let's say you're not in a place where full intimacy feels accessible right now, that's okay. Because guess what? A held hand still sends that message to your nervous system, you are safe. You are loved. You are not alone. A shared laugh around the dinner table. A grandchild leaning into your arms. A partner brushing your cheek. These tiny moments. They're not just nice. They're medicine. They're healing you in ways no prescription ever could. You don't have to perform to gain the benefits. You just have to connect. Start small. Start gentle. But whatever you do, start. Because every act of love, no matter how small, tells your body. Keep fighting. Keep going. Life is still worth living. So, let's take a moment to pull this all together. If you've been feeling a little slower lately. If your memory's been foggy. If your heart's been acting up, or your energy just isn't what it used to be. And if, deep down, you've wondered whether this is just the way it has to be. Let me remind you of something powerful. You're not broken. You're not fading. You may simply be missing one piece of the puzzle that no one told you mattered this much. Because if you want to boost brain power, if you want to protect your heart, balance your hormones, strengthen your immune system, and feel emotionally vibrant, seen, and alive again, then it might be time to gently, courageously, rethink how you connect. With your partner. With yourself. With the parts of you that still long for closeness, for warmth, for touch, even if you haven't said it out loud. You don't need to change everything overnight. You don't need a perfect relationship or perfect health. You just need to be willing to take one small step today. So here's your invitation. Pick one habit. Just one. Maybe it's a loving touch. Maybe it's a heartfelt conversation. Maybe it's allowing yourself to reach out, or letting someone else in. Or maybe, it's as simple as giving yourself permission to feel alive again. To remember that your body, your heart, and your spirit still have so much left to give. And even more to receive. Because this stage of life, your 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond, it doesn't have to be the beginning of the end. It can be the beginning of a whole new chapter. One where you thrive, not just survive. And now, the question is, will you take that first step? Now, let me ask you something. Which of these benefits surprised you the most? Was it the brain boost? The protection for your heart? The way simple touch can strengthen your immune system? Or maybe it was just realizing that you're not alone and wondering if you've been missing out on something deeply human, and deeply healing, all along. And here's another question that might hit a little closer to home. Have you ever defied the stereotypes of aging? Or maybe you know someone, a friend, a neighbor, maybe even your partner, who's still full of spark, still living with passion, still breaking the so-called rules of what it means to grow older. Because here's the truth no one tells us when we're younger. Growing older doesn't mean becoming invisible. It doesn't mean giving up on joy, or connection, or love. And it certainly doesn't mean giving up on yourself. Not if you don't want it to. So tell us in the comments, where are you watching from? Are you somewhere quiet, somewhere cozy, maybe curled up with a cup of tea? Or are you out on your daily walk, earbuds in, soaking in the fresh air? Wherever you are, this community, this moment, this conversation, it's for you. And if you believe, deep down, that intimacy matters at every age. If you believe that your best years can still be ahead of you, then you belong here. This channel, Thriving Age Tip, isn't just about advice. It's about empowerment. It's about rewriting the story of what aging looks and feels like. Together. So if you're ready to take your health into your own hands, if you're ready to feel stronger, think clearer, and live with more purpose than ever before, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share this with someone you care about, someone who deserves to hear that aging doesn't mean fading, it means thriving. Because your age is not your limit. It's your launch pad. And we'll be right here, cheering you on, every step of the way.